All right, installing a subwoofer in a 2021 Lexus IS350 F Sport. I think it matters, but the 250s, the 200s, the 300s, they're gonna be the same. You're gonna wanna take out the battery. Very annoying process. This box here that holds the battery has two clips here on the side, which hold one of the terminals right there, this guy right there, plugs into here, and another wiring thing that plugs into there. Doesn't let you pull out the battery until you disconnect all that stuff. So once you do that, unfortunately, here's the grommet you're gonna have to cut to run your power wire. So what I'm gonna do is I cut this thing in half and pull it out a little bit, feed the wire through. This is probably the most annoying part of this process. Everything else is pretty straightforward, especially if you've installed a subwoofer before. But you're gonna wanna pull under the glove box, you're gonna wanna pull this thing and pull this guy here. And once you get through the grommet there, it comes out. But then trying to grab it and feed it through is very frustrating. But the basic process, obviously, if you've ever done this, right, you run that through there, to the back. And I'll video the whole process because there's very little resources in terms of how to install a subwoofer on this specific car. A lot of it kind of goes into just sort of either already showing something installed or whatever. But what I'd like to do, because I was certainly missing it, is to just video the whole process, especially where do you have to cut, what do you have to cut, what do you have to move, things like that. So stay tuned. I'll stitch this video together. What I'll do next is probably splice the speaker wires. So what I'll get for the signal is I'm going to try to find the subwoofer. This car has a subwoofer that comes installed with it. So what I'll try to find is the positive and negative for the subwoofer, the OEM sub, to tap into for my line out converter. And I'll video that and show you guys. Quick note that I wanted to make as we continue this installation. What you just saw was a wiring diagram for the IS series 2021 and up Lexus. It's going to be the same for all the ISs, I believe. This is for the non-Mark Levinson system. I don't know why you're here. Apparently the Mark Levinson, if you have one, is super awesome. You wouldn't need to be doing any of this. But anyway, this particular installation is a non-Mark Levinson. So what you just saw was that wiring diagram that you can use for your installation needs in terms of sound. The other thing I showed was the kicker line-out converter, which I'm still waiting for. It's not here. But that one in particular I like because the remote wire that it has can be ran directly to your amp, so no need to run an additional remote wire from the amp to like a cigarette lighter or another power source. So that's the reason I bought that one. Hopefully that's helpful. The grommet, which you are running the power from the battery to the back, make sure to seal that back up after. Through the firewall, there's a ton of wiring in there, like almost immediately, like another harness. So you wouldn't want any elements or water or whatever else getting on there. That I covered. So I'm filming this after I've already done the wiring, in which you'll see next. So what I did is I found the preamp two little wires that I just showed the diagram for. I cut them in half and I extended them with another speaker wire so I have some room to work with. I connected everything back up, tested everything, it does work. So I'm just waiting for my line out converter. You'll see this part next, but what I did want to mention about this process, and I don't talk about it in the part next, the OEM amp is connected to the wiring with like this wiring harness, and then it has a black retainer clip on it. It's a little finicky. Getting it back into place was a little bit of an issue for me. Maybe it won't be for you, but did want to mention that what you're about to do. So if you've made it this far, you're through the hardest part. I don't know why running power is so difficult. It's just super annoying. But you know, you're done, and that was the hardest part. What you're about to see is pretty easy. If you're confident doing speaker work yourself, it's just, you know, splicing into some wires. Very easy stuff. Let's go. Okay, cool. So you got to remove all this stuff here and this side panel here. Looks like this. This guy here. You just pop that thing off. Just pop that thing right off. The plastic guy. Just kind of comes out. Remove that. Remove everything holding back the spare tire. And this is the original, the OG amp. So we're gonna remove this guy because I can't understand what's what here. And also, my car is a 2021, and I already see some tape here. So I am gonna go ahead and assume somebody had a system here. I don't know what that's all about. I don't know if that's factory. I don't think so. So somebody's messed with this fucking thing hard. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume. I'm not sure why this is here. I'm not sure why these butt connectors are here, but I know this has something to do with an aftermarket system. It has to. There's no way that came from the factory like that. Anyway, we're looking for pin 6 and pin 21. I'm gonna remove this thing. I'm gonna lift it up and I'm gonna try to count, and I'm gonna see if the colors align with what we just saw. Okay, here's how I'm gonna explain it. Once you unplug it, have your peach wire facing towards the headlight. Okay, and we're gonna count 6 from the peach wire. Right, when you look at this here, look at the holes here, count 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 on the wiring diagram, it says it's blue. On the wiring diagram, I believe it's 21. Basically, it's flipped around. So 6 from the bottom would be the positive. But the blue is blue and pink, or blue and beige, whatever color this is. I cut it in half because I'm gonna splice this with a butt connector, connect a longer wire so I can have a T-tap, so I can have a little bit more room to work with. But essentially, have the wiring harness unplugged, have the peach facing the back of the car, and count 6 on the pins. Okay? So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, splice into this one and the one directly opposite of it. Those are your positive and negative leads for the subwoofer OEM. This is what we're splicing into to get signal to our line-out converter. I think this is the easiest I can make it. Just face this thing, peach, towards the back, count 6, and cut the one opposite of it. Once you cut that one, refer to the diagram. Blue, I think, is... All right, so here we go. As I said, here's our LOC, wiring diagram on the LOC. What you do is you take the 2 positives, so the L plus and the R plus, twist those together. L minus, R minus, twist those together. And then the 2 pluses twisted together go into the pink and gray, like that, right? With a T-tap with the extender wire. And the 2 minuses twisted together go into the pink and blue, which is your negative, with a T-tap into our extended wire. And then what I did was I made the ground wire a little longer, grounded that. That's my amp ground. I run through the slit for my amplifier, for the new one, for the mono amp. So then what I did was I turned on the car, and you want to see this light here come on. So what that means is this thing is getting signal, it's getting power from from the speaker wire itself. So that means if the light comes on, that's success, because then this is your remote wire, which will go to the amp next to the amp power and amp ground. This will let the amp know to turn on once this thing turns on. So success so far, pretty good. What we're gonna do is zip tie this to make sure this doesn't come apart. We're gonna drop this down there. We're gonna run our RCAs and our remote wire through the slit here. And we're almost done here, guys. All right, so a little messy over here, but as I described it, that process worked. I did the power to the amp last. It's not hot. Everything works. The sub turns on. I have it facing the vehicle front. It's an 8-inch. It gives the exact amount of bass that I was missing. So far, so good. I have the gain turned down on the bass knob here. I have the gain pretty much at like 20%, 25%. The gain here, I have just slightly above 0. And then for your subsonic, you're gonna wanna tune that to the hertz for your enclosure. So for mine, it's 41 hertz, and you wanna do 1/4 an octave below that. So there's like a formula over there, essentially divide by 2. So it's 41 divided by 2 is 20.5, divide that by 2 is 10.25, and then you add that to the half, so 21 plus 10, so roughly 32 hertz. That's what I have my subsonic tuned to. I'm not going to go into how to do that. There's a lot of stuff on there on Google and YouTube on how to do stuff on these settings, but essentially I'm going to go through the break-in period a couple of weeks, so I'm going to have everything at a minimum. The subsonic setting I'm not turning up because that's tuned perfectly for this car, for this enclosure rather, and I'm not going to mess with the gain because I don't want to blow this speaker. It's the perfect amount of bass. The only thing I'm going to adjust once the sub is broken in is probably this guy. I'm very happy with this. The purpose of this video was basically to show how to install, how to run an additional mono amp from your OEM amp, where to tap into, how to do it. So if you have a bigger amp with more wattage, if you have like 2 15s, 2 12s, 2 10s, whatever you want to run, make sure you obviously match this to that with the wattage, with the impedance, and all that stuff's kosher. But essentially, hopefully this is very helpful. Leave me a comment about anything I might have missed. I know this isn't the cleanest installation yet, but I'm gonna, once it all breaks in and stuff, and I know I'm keeping it, I'm gonna make it all nice and neat, and I might update this in a couple of weeks. But so far so good. Everything turns on, everything works. There's no issues. There's nothing going on. The only thing that's the parking sensors are freaking out again because I disconnected the battery, but that's a minor issue. I'll take it for a drive, listen to music. All right, hope this is helpful. See you guys.